What's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review. Starting off the new year with the Neca Robocop vs. Terminator, Endocop, and Terminator Dog. Very cool. I'm so pumped that Neca is making more Robocop figures, so I'm looking forward to picking them up. Packaging, really nice. Since this is based off the comic book, we do have really nice comic book art on the front. You got Robocop versus the Terminator. Top of the packaging, you got that. Bottom of the packaging, you got that. People responsible for this awesome figure. On the one side, we got more comic book art. Very cool. Same thing on this side, we got more comic book art. On the back, we have images of the figure and the dog. And then we have a little bit of a read-up at the top there. And you got the Velcro flap, opens up to a really cool image of the figures. And then, of course, we do have the figures behind the clam there. But that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and pop these open and take a closer. Okay, and here they are out of the packaging. Very cool 2-pack. We don't really get a lot of accessories with this 2-pack at all. All we really get is this awesome RoboCop style big old pistol. And this is basically pretty plain. It's just kind of casted in the black with a little bit of sculpted details in it. But that is cool that that is included. Both of the figures are actually done really nice for the most part. I really think they look awesome. Take a look at the Endocop first, because I think they did a really good job, you know, making it look like he just popped right out of the comic book. So really, really cool. I love the sculpt detail that we get in the head, and especially in the mouth area. That's really, really cool. All that sculpting detail in there. The teeth look really nice. Of course, we got the little visor. That looks awesome. Nicely painted, nice and clean. And then, of course, we got all this cool sculpting all over this figure, which looks really, really good. And there's like that blue, kind of really light blue shading that they kind of have all over this figure. It looks really nice, actually. It came out really good. As far as the shoulders, we have these really cool little pistons and little wires and everything all over the place, sculpted in really nice. So that looks really, really good. Again, we have this nice blue shading all over the chest and pretty much kind of sporadically all over the chrome parts of the body. It's pretty much just straight black here in the abdominal section, but we get some nice sculpting. Coming down to the legs again, we get this really nice kind of blue shading. Get some numbers in there and everything, so that's really cool. Nice sculpt work all the way down. We have these little rockets. I'm guessing these are rockets on the side here. Now these don't detach or anything or swivel, so they're pretty much just solid pieces. But really nice sculpt, and again we get that nice blue shading all over, and the feet look really cool. And I love how they have this little like piston thing going on. It actually moves with the articulation. So I think that's a really, really cool little touch. Love that. And we have that in other places on this figure as well. Looking at the one arm, again, this is what I was talking about with the pistons. It moves with the articulation, so that's really cool. Love that, looks so cool. We get some really nice wash on the arms of the figure. And of course we have the hand. It turned out really cool. Really nice. Now the fingers don't articulate, but we do get swivel here on the hand. But again, we get really cool little details and sculpt work all throughout. Back of the figure again, loaded with nice sculpt, nice paint. Again, it's pretty plain here in the abdominal section, but there is some pretty nice sculpting going on in there. Back of the figure, and the other side of the figure here coming up. And this arm is pretty much identical to the other one, done really nice. We do have these pistons here, so I think that's just so cool. Nice little touch. And again, we have a really nicely detailed arm here. Nice sculpt work all in that. And again, the fingers are nothing, you know, they don't articulate or anything. Now, as far as the Endocop's articulation, you do get swivel at the head. You get a little tiny bit of up, little tiny bit of down, a little bit of side-to-side pivot on that, so that's cool. As far as the arms, it's just basically one big hinge, and it can go all the way up. So that's really neat. You get nice movement in that hinge, and of course that will rotate all the way around. Of course, we saw the elbow articulation. That'll pretty much give you not even really 90 degrees, but again we get that really kind of cool piston action in there, so that's really cool. And of course the hands will rotate. As far as the torso, we do have a cut, so he will rotate in the middle there. It will crunch back a nice little bit, actually. You can get him really far back. Does get a little gappy there. He will crunch a little bit forward, and of course you get side and side. So nice kind of all around movement in that upper torso. There is no waist cut. The legs, you can pretty much go forward, but they will kick out just because of the sculpt. Same thing going back. It's going to kick out because of the way that it's sculpted. You do have a little bit of movement around there. I think it's just like a ball peg. So I mean, you don't have a thigh swivel like cut in there, but you can kind of, you know, move it a little bit this way. And as far as the knees, they will pretty much bend at about almost 90 degrees. And there's no swivel or anything out of that. And then the feet, again, we get that really cool, you know, piston, but it's basically just a hinge. So all you're going to get is about that much forward, about that much back. There's no ankle rocker or no rotation. So I mean, overall, not bad little movement. As far as him holding onto the pistol, he does hold onto it pretty nice. You got a trigger finger in there and everything. So it's a little bit loose in his hands just because the fingers are so kind of delicate and a little bit on the soft side, but he will hold on to that. It's not going to be coming out of there. So very, very cool. And then let's take a look at the dog. And I think Neca did a really, really nice job with this thing. We get really nice sculpt work all throughout, and I love the wash that they put in all over this. So he's not as clean as the Endocop. We kind of have a really dark wash all throughout him. But taking a look at the head sculpt, I think they did a really nice job with the head sculpt. Looks awesome. Really nice red eyes. I love the teeth. They're sculpted really, really nice. And of course, you just get all this crazy sculpt detail all the way over this thing. It looks awesome. I love the spinal cord. That looks really cool. Again, we get pistons, you know, all throughout him. And a little tail here. Really, you get pistons here again on the back of the legs and everything. Just very, very cool. Very cool looking figure. Really nice job here. Nice job on the feet. Just all around a very, very cool looking piece. I just love the wash. I love the wash that they put in all over this thing. And we do get quite a bit of articulation on this thing as well. Of course, you saw that the jaw will hinge up and down, and again, we get kind of, you know, a cool piston look there. So that's really cool. So that open all the way up. The head will swivel all the way around 360. You get nice up with it. You get really nice down with it. And you do get nice side to side. So that's awesome. Really nice movement in the head. Now, as far as all the legs are basically on a swivel, so they will swivel pretty much all the way around. All of them will. The back ones, you're going to run into the problem. You're going to run into this little piston part right here. But you can get the legs really nice far in the back, so he can pretty much get really good articulation all the way with all four of the legs. You do have a single bend, so he will pretty much get about 90 degrees. And then you have another hinge down here at the top of the, I guess, ankle, this would be, of the dog. So you get a nice hinge out of that. And then you get another hinge down here at the foot, which gives you a little bit of movement, a little bit of front and back, and a little bit of rotation. But I don't know if you should be rotating that or not. I think it's just a little ball peg in there, but it seems to kind of want to resist. But I think you can technically turn a little bit on the feet. So that is cool. As far as the neck, you do get swivel at the bottom of the neck. It's a little bit of movement side to side, so that's cool. Then we do have this cut here, kind of like in the mid torso, so you can get, you know, full rotation out of that. That's really nice. A little bit of forward and back movement, and then again here at the back, you have these pistons that kind of go into each other a little bit, so that's awesome. You don't want to rotate that because you end up just breaking that, but you can get a little bit of up and down movement even at the back. And then of course the back legs, you have the same kind of like 90-degree bend, and again you have another hinge down here that will hinge forward, and it stops right there, but it will hinge forward a little bit. And again, for the feet, you get a little bit of forward and back and a little bit of rotation. So I think at the end of the day, this is a really cool 2-pack. I mean, there's a lot of articulation here in this dog, so I think that's really cool. Love the movement, and the Endocop looks awesome as well. Then you got to figure out how to put everything back together here for this dog, but get him standing on all fours again somehow. Here we go. He's a little bit crooked. Now, measuring out the Endocop, it looks like he is just a little bit over 6.5 inches tall. And as far as the dog, it looks like to the top of his head, he's a little bit over 4.25 inches tall. And try to measure from like front to back, he's almost 4 inches long as well. Maybe a little over, going all the way to the back, almost like 4.5 inches. But yeah, really cool set. Nice movement on both for the most part. I do wish we had a little bit, like maybe a waist twist in here. I feel like that could have been pretty easy to add a waist twist. And I wonder if there is, and maybe mine's just like really stuck. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it wants to move at all. But really cool, nice detail in both of these figures. As far as a size comparison, here is a Predator. And here's the Jungle Dutch figure. So a couple comparisons within the NECA line, just giving you a comparison of what they will look like on the shelf together. Get the dog in the shot as well. But yeah, guys, that was a look at the NECA Robocop vs. Terminator Endocop and Terminator Dog. Very cool 2-pack. It's definitely going to look good up on the shelf. Can't wait for the future Robocop to come out. I'm definitely going to pick him up, and looking forward to any other Robocops that NECA is going to make this year. So 2018 is going to be an awesome year for us collectors. We're going to be getting a bunch of cool figures, so it's just going to be an awesome, it's going to hurt the pocket, but be an awesome year. But that's a review, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next figure review.